we've got a question here in the YouTube chat, Garrett. Who do we think the new top 5 will be Monday? So again, this is not the power rankings that we released on the preview show on Wednesday. This is who the top 5 will be according to the AP. I guess we'll use this to lead into Georgia. Do you guys think that Georgia is going to be the number 1 team on Monday?
Yes, because of the way the AP poll works, you usually don't see teams drop when they win, especially on the road in conference. I don't think enough people will drop them. They might lose some first place votes because they struggled with Auburn, but they'll still be number 1.
Florida State dropped last week though after a
win.
They
did, yeah, they did, which was I don't know why we're doing that.
It's because they hate Florida State somehow. That's got to be what it is.
But Clemson's been one of the great powers of our sport for the last decade, and we beat them on the road for the first time in a decade, and we dropped. But it's whatever. But I think Georgia will be number 1. Michigan, who was number 2 this week? I don't even remember. Was it Michigan?
I think it's still Michigan. Yeah,
Michigan should still be number 2. I don't think Michigan will jump Georgia by beating a bad Nebraska team. If it's me, it's probably Georgia, Michigan. I'm pulling up the AP poll right now. Probably Texas, number 3 still.
Yep.
Ohio State, and pick your poison at number 5, I guess. Florida State, Oregon, Washington.
Oregon, Washington. It could have. Not you could. You could have USC. They shouldn't be going up based off their
they might drop again. I think they'll drop again.
Yeah, I would certainly lean towards that. I didn't get to defend my take on Thursday morning. I think Washington should be the top team. They're doing a solid job tonight against Arizona. That's a tricky game on the road in Tucson. That's a weird place to play. They just actually scored another touchdown here in the middle of the third quarter, so they're going to be up 28-10. I think they're the most complete team in college football, and I'm really excited to see how they continue to prove that going throughout the rest of the schedule. But
I'm going to say my only thing on that, and this was from the beginning of the show, I wanted to come back to this. Do we think Michigan separated themselves today? I know that Nebraska is a bad team. I get that they're not very good, but at the same time, I think Michigan did separate themselves. You said, they're not going to jump just because of beating a bad Nebraska. Well, why should Georgia stay there after beating a bad Auburn by 7? Like that's
I don't know that they should.
I'm not saying that you're trying to defend that. I'm just saying, well, why on earth would you say, you win by 7 on the road, that's a gutsy win or whatever else? Meanwhile, Florida State just won on the road.
Yeah.
And there's you barely escaped. It was Clemson. So I don't really understand that. I think Michigan has separated themselves at this point. I think that they are clearly better than what Georgia is right now. I think that you can rely on them a lot more to do what they need to do. And, what do you want from them? They're going to go out there and they're going to beat up the people on the field. They're going to be more physical. They're going to just slowly, methodically push you away. And that's just what Michigan does. So I think that's where it goes from here. And I don't know. I think Michigan's the best team right now. I would drop Georgia to 3 if it were up to me, but that's just me.
Gracious. How about